Namaste. Dear friends, if you have aggressions against this chapter, what I'm talking and prepared to you, just go ahead. In YouTube there is many channels to release your adrenaline. I do my favorite things. I read your faces and the faces of these people who are interesting to you. If you have any interest, write your request. I will consider it for broadcast. You all education people and you know what era we live in. Secret societies manipulate governments, healthcare, food industry, the media, and even switch to the education system to our days. That's what I can do on my next topic about global topic, yes. For you spiritual growth and analyze of what is happening in this world and how we humanity enter this system and everything that happens. I would advise you to read these famous wise people authors that you see in my back screen. Michael Bulgakov, Master and Margarita, Ray Bradbury, 455 degrees Fahrenheit, and George Orwell, 1984. All novels have contact with today's events. Listen to the story of how an American science fiction writer predicted in great detail the world in which we live today. And you, congratulations, sarcasm, playboys, expensive each you already live in this terrible time. Listen to the story. Listen carefully to the end to understand the many hidden truths about our society and about you, about our possible near future. The spirit or the energy has not birth and not death. There is something deep inside of you that never was born and that never will die. The unity and love of others must surpass all other values. If my speech with an accent is not clear, I always insert subtitles English. So, all the service and for you. Let's analyze Donald Trump's hands by PALMISTRY. You can even compare it with the description of face reading. It will be to better understand this person, who he is. Donald John Trump, 45th President of the United States, American businessman, famous personality on television and radio, writer. Elements in the palm: square, fingers in relations to the palm are short. There is an element of earth, but also an element of fire and metal. The element of the earth gives many practicality. Such people perceive life from a practical point of view. He can be a good friend when he loves everything on the shelves in his life, does not like to make unnecessary movements. Such people are working people, behave with dignity in their workplace. People like that don't have many friends. Punctuality in their trait of character. People with the elements of the earth are active in sexual relations, very caring. Family is very important to them. Elements fire is very emotional, impulsive, explosive in nature, logical suffers, but their intuition is very developed. People like attention. They have a lot of pronounced leadership qualities. They have a lot of ideas. They can easily light a crowd of cons of such a palm. There is not enough patience for the logical complexities of business. People of metal are independent, which is due to their powerful strength of character. They love themselves, but they know how to care and respect others. As a rule, they are rather restrained, but with external pressure, they actively and unflinchingly defend themselves and their point of view. Representative of these elements strive for orderliness and prefer balance and purity in all sense of the word. They're distinguished by reliability and determinations, although sometimes they stay somewhat separate, not trying to be part of the crowd. When people of metal know what they are looking for and what, then their determinations can be invited, because obstacles and failures can never make these people get out of the way, and they can solve all problems with ease. They have no fear of long lines, and the only thing they want from society is recognition of their achievement and success. Among the shortcomings of metal people can be not their periodic impulsivity, consciously or subconsciously. They all have an insurmountable craving for luxury, money and power. Often they can be stubborn and behaving unreasonably. As leaders, metal people are very demanding and want subordinates to meet their high standards and expectations as much as possible. People with motor fleshy hands gravitate to wide proportions of the body. Almost North American people have this type of hands. The owners of such an extrovert hand and love beauty and pleasant aspects of life. They are happy to eat and drink and appreciate a fun society. They are cheerful and good-natured, but easily aroused in disputes. Their strong desires to guard, protect often forces them to love vulnerable and weak people. At the same time, their feeling of debt are constant. They are energetic, resilient, activity, mobile, have a bold and intertwined mind, a strong sense of self-worth, delighted, and for these reasons they enjoy the authority of others and take responsible positions in their community. However, they achieve success not by chance, but thanks to personal merit. But this is success for a long time. Mentality. The owners of such a hand are not practically witty, but have a total hostile intelligence, which is quite deep and relates to the sense of humor. They're impressed by everything massive, large and colossal. They have a sense of regular, symmetrical and practical. Their actions are reasonable and conscientious. They can put themselves in the place of another, and their objectivity and the ability of sober judgment in the practical and theoretical field are balanced. If both joints of the fingers are nodular, then there's a little more logic. Such people love independence in the implementations of their plans. In relation with people, they remain skeptics until they make sure that the other side really expensive dispositions. They reject everything eccentric and fanatic. Abilities, courage in enterprise, and sense of responsibility are so sufficiently present. This characteristic may a person capable of organizing a business or holding leadership post. We find this type of hand in state husbands, officers, and successful entrepreneurs. Artists' abilities are aimed at music and sculpture. Both joints are nodular, which gives data for combined physical, scientific, and creative activities. Conical phalanx of thumb. This form of phalanx indicates an impressionable person with reduced willpower. This man is an idealist. He knows how to convince, can notice others people's weakness and successfully use them to achieve his goals. But the conical shapes of the phalanx also speaks a lack of exposure. Think the energy of such a person quickly runs out when colliding with a problem, the solution of which requires a lot of effort. The bone of the thumb is visible. This is an indicator of the stubbornness of a person. He has strong willpower. If he decides, then he decides, and it's extremely difficult to convince him. The thumb has dynamic people who have an equally good structure of both soul and body. The first part of the thumb is strong. Indicates intelligence, a strong desire for independence, as well as a great perseverance in the implementation of their plans. People with this sign are mostly unpredictable and wayward. It's very mobile, flexibility, a sign of adaptability, which can be both a virtue and disadvantage. In a positive quality, it promotes harmonic contact with the outside world. If there's too much adaptability, a person is exposed to influence, in which case he can be easily used by other people for his own purposes. The owner of such a thumb is variable, impulsive, natural, for which the harmony of the world around him is necessary. The root phalanx of the finger is long. Indicates frankness, a powerful and entrepreneurial person, a sense of justice, as well as a clear intuitive perceptions of circumstance. Donald Trump has a normal finger slant. They talk about good mental ability, clearly discernible properties, can positively affect individual abilities. The nameless finger is a little longer than the index, an indicator of good male energy, love for beauty and arts. The short minuscules indicate the presence of intuitions, adaptability and quick tolerance. Exquisite frankness and the truth entails too fast, insufficiently thought out answer, which however aptly and straightforwardly express the truth. The quadrangular phalanges of finger on a person's hands are site of activity, criticality, competence and discipline. Owners of the appropriated form belong to people who go in a direct and clear way through their lives. The distance between the nameless finger and the little finger is a sign of a great independence in affairs and thought, indicate the presence of a valuable intuitive, as well as aspirations for independence. These people have a strong, exceptional intellectual thirst for knowledge, which means that such people get joy from the very process of acquiring knowledge. The index finger, which is attracted to the middle, allows you to determine in the corresponding person the desire to achieve the implementation of your own plans, which is achieved by its activity and endurance. Half-length and almost quadrangular nails are a sign of thought for knowledge. A comprehensive, positive and critical mind, a site of loyalty, realistic actions, scientific interest, adaptability to requirements, as well as metadata, orderly and correct lifestyle. You can see on the pictures rhythm angels of big fingers and index fingers between. People with such an angle most often have a kind of inner clock, and they are controlling in the subconscious, by a sense of economical time distribution. In our lives, this can be expressed in punctuality and in work, in planning working hours and meeting the scheduled and dates. Most often, the angel of rhythm is found by people who are able to present the entire volume of work from start to finish and implement everything planned in compliance with the planned deadlines. The flexibility of the phalanx of big finger thumb suggests a quick and easy adaptation to various circumstances. Short finger impatience give to person impulsive, able to see the most important thing in any situation. Short finger belongs to people who act very quickly and make decisions. Communication immediately understand what the essence of the problems is, since they see it entirely from different sides and they do not need any additional and clarifying informations. Along with this, energetic, decisive, and does not tolerate monotonous activities. The distance between the finger of Jupiter and Saturn indicates faith in one's own strength and independence. These are people who can listen to someone else's point of view, but they will still do it in their own way. Very distrustful and stubborn leaders who seek to make independent, original and independent decisions while testing everything on their own experience. The finger of Jupiter endows a person with extraordinary punching power, and he will be active, independent and confident in himself. Moreover, this finger speaks of a strong person who can be proud of his abilities and sometimes prefers to do it in public. He will not allow himself to lead and in any situation seeks to play the role of leader. Such a person is unusually consistent and logical in his actions and desires. He has the ability to look at the situations from the outside and observe, as a result of which he comes to balanced and correct conclusions, while his feelings are inseparable from reality. For such person, the material component of life is important, and he may be interested in money and as means of influencing others and guaranteeing his safety and stability. That's very, very important in our life. He seeks not only to make money, but also to keep money. The finger of Saturn. Often such a finger is found in people who can study very diligently and fully focus on the business they are engagement in. They can objectively access their material needs. Thanks to responsibility and a sense of duty, they realize all their plans because they are first developed and only then implemented. The man who possesses this Apollo finger, he is practical and talent. He is conservation, courteous, and inclined to question everything. The finger of Mercury speaks of the ability to speak eloquently. He is very good at expressing himself and is able to easily realize himself in life. Donald Trump finger speaks of love for languages and verbal communication. Such a person is witty and has increased sexuality. Also, the owner of the longer finger of Mercury is always emotional, knows how to convince and has his point of view of any issue. He is very attracted to smart and interesting people from whom they can learn something. A very good organizer, able with the help of their eloquence and natural charm to inspire people to certain actions. Being an excellent storyteller, he is easily able to gain confidence and become the soul of any company. This is emerged from a god who can sell anything and benefit from it. Now I tell you about hills on Donald Trump's pump. Not all, only a few, because it will be very long. I just give some short part of it. The Hill of Venus speaks of strongly expressed qualities and generally indicate a good, friendly character and life-loving person. The owner of such a hill knows how to enjoy life and all kinds of pleasure, and in the search of physical pleasure, he will not fix on them, but will try to control himself and keep himself with the framework. Such a person knows how to empathize, maybe, activity trying to lead a sport lifestyle, but at times he can go about his desires, sometimes losing control over them. People with a highly developed hill begin to build a relationship with a partner, not only on the basis of love, but also on friendship. Think they see him primarily as a friend or brother in reasons. For them, both the trusting component of relationship and mutual dedications are very important. For all think such people are very passionate, energetic, and have a strong need for love. The normally development hill of Upper Mars gives its owner the modern tail development quality as perseverance, bravery, self-control, and penchant for dispute and struggle will be expressed in measure and will be demonstrated by a person only in extreme cases. Now we'll see few main lines, их characterizations, and what this showed to Donald Trump's hands. The line of life. Has an average diameter which indicates a person with a high level of energy. Line of life is strong and deep, expresses voltage, energy, resistance, strong willed shutter speed, and purposeful concentrated force. Such a line corresponds to unusually strong willpower and self-control. This person straightforward, say and do what they want, do not count with the opinion of others, rarely express their emotions, although they are prone to compassions, a sign of strong maneuvers, due to which all causes adversity experience are successful to overcome and remain calm even in critical situations. The line of life is inflated and shifted to the hill of Jupiter. It's a little bit shift has an up position. This gives a person a good element of assertiveness and determinations, ambitions, inflated plans for life. In front of you, the leader started. In character, quality appears as ambitions, vanity, their energetic and independence, and strive to manage other people. The line of life has a high beginning, which suggests that a person is a born and manager organized. As I told, when just we see a look in his hand, we can say this is a leader. He can clearly set goals for life, wants to gain weight in society, become significant, and gain influence of others. Such a man is full of ambitions. With this arrangement, a person needs to be careful that going to the breach, sacrificing what he has for his goal, not to lose everything. Next, the line of the head. I show in this position picture. But in this is where the connections line of head and line of life, they connected together. It's small area just show to us that in front of us testifies to prudent behavior, rational thinking, self-control and balancing responsible to conflict situations person. This combination of the beginning of the headline indicate that parents in childhood try to control each child's actions, and with their love and excessive parental care, suppressed independence in small person, imposing their point of view of him. As a result of total parental control, the child develops such qualities as caution and strong, deep and clear line of the head, testifies to the strength of the mind, good self-control, determinations, person with good memory, and in general such a line speaks of a healthy and strong mind and high intelligence. Energy passed such line quickly, without fears, without being late anywhere, and consequently thoughts of the person also flow exactly, smoothly, trouble-free, and consciousness with confidence and force. The strong and deep line of the head is a sign of a self-sufficient person, endowed with high intelligence and rich mental abilities, balanced and able to set real goals for himself and achieve them. Owners of deep and clear lines of the head, as a rule, do not always make decisions quickly, but are able to think about their strategy of action, analyze, and only after considering all the facts as a whole make deliberate and balanced decisions. But by making such a decision, they will never retreat from it, and on the way to the goal, they became resolute, focused, and purposeful. In moments of danger, they are calm, restrained, not prone to panic, and thanks to their ability to own themselves and self-control in critical situations, they can pick up themselves up. Next, we will see the heart line. Heart line has a low position on Donald Trump's hand. This indicates the predomination of a reason over human feelings and emotions. A person will be immersed in himself, completely rejecting feelings and all decisions regarding love, relations, and relationship with other people will go through his mind and logic. Also, the owner of this beginning of the line of life had the ability to discard feelings, make the right and right decision, but with the same success it will repel people from it. Thinks he will choose people not with the help or sympathy and feelings, and guided by low-lying material aspirations and choosing for themselves such people from whom you can get something for yourself and work what are you doing. The end of the heart lines said that a person really understands that everything that happens around, it's not outweighed but emotions. He can always compare all the emotional components and what is it really. It can be harsh to talk about the relationship that is. Also, this is end of the heart line say that a person has thought and requirements for a partner that he must meet. The line intuitions very good show in this his hand indicates super sensitivity, susceptibility, spiritual exaltations, and self-improvement, which combined with a development sense of intuitions, inhibitions, insight, premonitions, or foresight. It's a very good point because he feels before he do something. The line of fate. And if you see, this is one end comes from the heel of the moon, parallel the line of life, and is direct toward the heel of Saturn. People with such a line have great constancy in their lifestyle, a strong ability to concentrate. One line comes from the heel of the moon, then this is excuse me then this is a sign of unstable fantastic fate, which depends on external influence, on other people or process that took place in the outside world. This is a favorable sign for people whose success depends on the public, where you need a creativity undertaken, look like actors, politicians, and showmen. That's why people love whereas they see Donald Trump and they doesn't understand what's coming next, because in a businessman and a showman he is just for alas. The conclusion is that Donald Trump has a lot of talents and qualities that help him to be now not only practicals but also to feel what is right and what is not intuitions. This person tries to take responsibility for his actions and words. He went through a good life school and gained excellent leadership experience. I want to just tell you thank you for analysis of Donald Trump's prompt. You can write some comments if you agree or not, but this was just my practice of my life experience, and what I see on this is hand that good luck, support, you of people will be with him. Love you, have a nice time.